Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Firewood at the Furnace. My name is Brad if it's your first time here. And as you can see, the truck has obviously been lettered up, decals are on, and I put out a shorts video last week kind of showing that right after it happened. And a lot of people had questions about what was with the logo, why doesn't it say Firewood at the Furnace? And I guess I have kind of neglected that part of this whole deal and giving you the information on what is going on here. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit this morning before we head out on a couple jobs. We've got 2 jobs planned today, and let me tell you, this truck, word is spreading like wildfire about the availability of this truck and the services that we can provide. We've got jobs lined up even outside of Chaz's tree service jobs. I've been doing a lot of private jobs just by myself with this truck. Removing debris, hauling logs, and just little odd and end things on the side. And I think that once the word really gets out about this, it is going to stay busy and booked up several days, if not weeks ahead. But anyway, let me get into what BTS Firewood is, what it means, what it stands for, and a little bit more details about how this venture is going to work out. So we're going to do that first before we get in the truck and head to the first job, so stick around. All right, so in a nutshell, simply as I can make this for everybody, this grapple truck that Chaz and I have has been in the works for over a year now, and finally on the road, finally getting some work, finally doing some business. This is kind of a joint venture between me and him. So the deal is that I'm the sole operator of the truck. I'm licensed to drive the truck. I've learned pretty quickly how to operate the grapple and all the hydraulics on the truck. And of all the guys that he has working for them on their everyday tree jobs, the way this is going to work is the guys on the jobs can put the logs aside throughout the day, and then I can swoop in at any time in the afternoon or evening to pick up the wood and not have to have a loader there, not have to have a dump truck there, and they can move on to their next job without having to wait around or load logs or go dump logs or, you know, dragging the job out. So it's less manpower intensive for Chaz's crews. It requires less equipment for those guys, and then I can just come in at my leisure and on my own time and pick up the wood that they leave behind. They're very familiar with what the truck's capabilities are as far as putting the wood piled up next to a driveway next to the road where I can reach it. So that's been working out really well. But aside from that, BTS Firewood stands for, and you can choose which one you like to use, Blanford's Tree Service or Brad's Truck Service, whichever one you decide you like to use. But the reason for that is because when the truck shows up on Chaz's jobs, he wants his branding obviously there, and he wants his company to be recognized, and his trucks are on the job. However, we're working with other tree companies as well, other landscaping companies, and if they want to kind of subcontract us to bring this truck in to help them out on their jobs, we can pull in there and not have the Blanford's name plastered on the side of the truck where that particular tree company's customer might see a competitor coming in to help the company that they hired. So it's kind of like a happy medium, I think. It's still has Chaz's colors, Chaz's tree character on it, but it doesn't actually say the Blanford's name. And then we added Firewood below because we're going to be hauling firewood logs to customers, you know, delivering firewood log length loads to people who process firewood, and maybe even deliver some processed firewood with it, not sure yet. But that's the reason for the logo. You can see we're stockpiling some saw logs here. We've got to start getting those to the mill as well. But that's just kind of answer some of your questions about what that is. And we are growing and learning as we go here, but so far so good. Everything's working out. So let's get the truck started up. We'll build some air pressure. We'll do our walk around check before we pull out of here, head up to the first job where we're getting one load. A lady has a pile of brush and logs and sticks, and she wants to have cleaned up, so we're gonna pick the bigger stuff out for her. She said she can deal with the small stuff, but wants me to try to get the bigger stuff out of her way. So I've got a new camera mount as well. I'm gonna try to mount it up on the turntable with me next to the seat so you can kind of see me operating the controls today. We'll try to do a 2-camera angle thing so you can see the controls on one side of your screen and see what the grapple's actually doing on the other. Hopefully that works out, but that's what we're heading to do now. So here's just kind of an example of the type of jobs, some of the jobs that we've been doing and people are calling us for. So this is a piece of property that they've piled a bunch of stuff up over a length of time, and they just want to have it cleaned up. It gets a little bit overwhelming, I think, to sometimes to some people. And the job that I did last week was actually a pile very similar to this, and there's probably 10 or 12 loads there. We've already taken 4 loads off of it, and he's going to do it a little bit at his pace, a little bit at a time, as he has the money to get it cleaned up. But this thing works really well. We can come in, park right next to the pile, and reach over, no matter how nasty or messy it is, and just pick it up. So we're taking 1 load out for this customer. She wanted us to try to get the biggest stuff first. She can deal with the small stuff, but after we get this first load loaded, she's going to kind of reevaluate what's left and develop a plan to go from there. So I'll speed you up here. We'll get this load on and then go get it dumped. So my camera mount idea that I had to get up on the turntable with me didn't work out so well, but I'm going to make a couple adjustments and maybe be able to show you that here by the end of this video on the next job. So I don't think I've ever showed you this before, but this is the dump spot where all the junk, gnarly, nasty stuff comes that gets all grinded up into mulch, and this is it. I mean, we have this area here that we can dump at. We actually pay to dump at it, but they'll take any wood. They bring in the grinders when it gets filled up. and they haul it all out and manufacture mulch and sell it. So that's what we're gonna do. I piled it up a little high in the truck there, so I'm gonna have to unload the first little bit off with the grapple. Once I get it down below the height of the tailgate there, we'll just dump the rest of it off. All right, so you see the right side door here on the back. I know some of you are going to spot that it's swinging, not pinned up. But the pin and the hole that the pin drops into to hold that door open is a little screwed up right now, so I got to fix that sooner than later. But the door doesn't drag the ground while the body's up, so it's not really that big of a deal. But it is something I want to get taken care of. The body is completely empty, so everything comes out really well as long as you get it down past the top of the tailgate there. And when you're dumping, just make sure the boom's up high enough to clear as the body goes up so nothing hits. And this top crossbar here is where the cradle is, the cradle for the boom when it sits down. That's why you have to make sure you get the debris out of it, at least down below that level. If not, it gets all jammed up, it'll bind itself up and the load doesn't come out like it should. So that's why I unloaded the stuff here on the side first. Got it down below that level, everything dumped out. Now we'll just get the body down and head to the tree service job. right up there on that hill is where we just loaded those logs on the side of the road right there. We had to come down the hill because there's a few more logs down here at the bottom we got to get, and that's certainly going to fill the truck up. Beautiful piece of property down here right on the river. I'm sure you can see the water down there in the background. But it's a beautiful day here in Maryland and a really nice setting for a job today for these guys. So they're just about done. They're grinding stumps and cleaning up. Looks like they took all these trees down off that fence line up there on the hill. They're just cleaning up the mess, grinding the stumps. I'm gonna pick up these logs and we'll be out of here. Well, we're back at the dump spot and I'm gonna get this last load of pine logs off of here and I am headed to the house. This day is done and something changed on the truck today from the end of the video to the beginning of the video. Chaz was at that last job site and he didn't even notice. So I'm wondering if any of you did. Let me know in the comments if you caught it. I'll see you all next Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. and until then, I hope you all have a great week.